Hey, it's Necessity, and today I'm going to be going over my specific controller binds. They're very unique, and I just want to talk about them because a lot of you are curious, so let's get right into it. First thing I want to say is I use the Thrustmaster. It's a really good controller. Look it up. You can swap out the thumbsticks. It just allows you to use it more. It comes with 4 paddles on the back, which allows me to have the controller laid out that I do, and it's very essential to how I play the game. If you guys need a new controller or you guys are looking into getting a Thrustmaster, I highly recommend it. I want to get sponsored by them eventually because I don't think I'm ever going to be switching off this controller unless something catches my attention. But let's just start the video with saying I do use the Thrustmaster. It's a really good controller, and I've been using it for almost over a year now. So the first thing I want to talk about is my D-pad and what I have on my D-pad. So for Y, I just have switch weapon. For B, I have interact. For A, I have sprint, and for X, I have util. It's just like a standard hell jumper variation. I don't know what's necessarily different about it. I think this is like your standard typical hell jumper. I grew up playing Halo 5 when I was like around 12, 13 years old, so I fell in love with hell jumper. So those are my D-pad buttons. Okay, for my triggers, I have left trigger zoom, right trigger shoot. I like left trigger zoom. It's way better than right stick, and I can maybe make a whole separate video on why it's so much better. For my bumpers, LB is melee, right bumper is grenade. I really like this variation. I don't have melee on right stick, and I'll get into that in a second. Okay, as for my right stick, I only have AI scan bind to it. I don't have melee. Like I said, my melee is my left bumper, and that's because I never liked the idea of being in an engagement and then tensing my right thumb for that melee. I want my right thumb to be completely relaxed when I'm aiming, and a lot of my binds are geared towards that. For example, I don't have crouch on B. I have it on my left stick. I didn't talk about that, but I have crouch on left stick because I don't want it to be on the D-pad. I don't want crouch or anything. I don't want my right hand doing anything besides aiming. Your right hand with your right thumb should only be aiming. Or not only be aiming, but like that's the main purpose of your right hand. Your right hand is your aim. So you don't want anything that's taking away from your aim. You don't want to be exerting yourself. That's why I have crouch on left stick. That's why I think it's super important. You want your right hand on this side of your controller to be as relaxed as possible. Let your left hand do that work. And that's what's important about paddles that I have. So let's talk about my paddles. So for this paddle, right here, I have jump. For this paddle, I have scoreboard. I'm able to see how many enemies are up at a time. It's very huge impact, especially at a competitive sense. I can like literally tell how many people are up. So for example, if I'm running the flag, I'm like, all right, look how easy this is to just see how many people are up. If I'm running the flag, look, I don't got to do anything like this. 3 are dead, 4 are dead, you know? So I have scoreboard on a paddle. This, I have switch grenades, this paddle. It just allows me to switch grenades. And and again, my right hand's completely relaxed. So how I press my buttons on this side, I just do it with this hand right here, and I just go. So this is how I switch grenades. And then I don't know what this is. I don't use this paddle. I don't really need it for anything because you don't really need to use all your paddles. But so for example, if I'm jumping, this is how I'm jumping. If I need to, how many people are dead, and then switch grenades. And I also do play claw. So this is how I hold my controller. I played claw naturally growing up. I actually just thought it was a better way of holding my controller. So when I was like 8 or 9 years old is when I actually started playing Xbox or Halo for the first time, which was on the 360. And I naturally played claw, which was kind of cracked of me at 9 years old. I was just like, man, this is the way better way of holding a controller. So I naturally played claw. So I actually have like no pain when I play claw ever. So it's like a pretty amazing gift. I think my hand has naturally built into playing claw. So if you don't play claw, I'd recommend it, but I'd also be very careful of endangering the tendons in your hand. Your hands are very important in your life. They're super sensitive, and the nerves are super sensitive. So I would recommend playing claw because I play it, and it's just, you're going to get a lot out of it. But just moderate yourself. Make sure you're doing those stretches. Make sure you're taking care of your hands. Make sure, you know, if you're having hand problems, go to your doctor. I don't recommend it if you're constantly straining and you're hurting at the end of the day. But yeah. I don't know if I talked about this, but I don't have anything really on D-pad besides ping. Ping is my bottom D-pad. So like sometimes when I'm like playing, I'll like take my thumb off of my moving stick to ping something. I'll usually like jump and ping, or like I'll just like do it real quick. I don't believe in having anything on your D-pad just because it takes away from, you know, your game. Your hand should be in this position, and it should never move from this position. Your right hand should be relaxed. So I don't really like having anything on my D-pad. And yeah. So I think that was the majority of my binds. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like. It really helps me a lot. Make sure you follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you follow me on my Twitch streams because I'm going to be starting to stream more. This video is really fun to make. I like talking about my personal settings because they're unique and I feel like no one else has them like me. I'll catch you on the flip side and have a nice day.